Hi everybody, my name is Luis Wong, and this presentation will cover a specific type of malware called spyware. This presentation is for the class IS 8330, and this is for the spring semester 2019. The main goal of this presentation is to train employees on how to avoid getting spywares in their systems. To effectively understand this, we're going to introduce first what is a malware, and then introduce what is a spyware. Then we're going to learn about the attack patterns, type of spywares, prevention and recovery. Malware is a pretty broad term, and in simple words is any software that was created with the intent of creating harm on users, on PCs, on systems, networks, data, servers, you name it. It encapsulates all malicious software. So worms, trojans, adware, spyware, ransomwares are all considered malwares. As I mentioned before, they were created to disrupt computer operations and usually are obtained through the internet. Nowadays, it might be hard for your system to detect these threats, so even an antivirus or an anti-malware software might have a hard time finding them. A spyware, as I mentioned before, is a type of malware that was created to spy on the infected computer or mobile device. It sends data back to the attacker. This data could be any type. So it could be passwords, it could be screenshots, it could be emails, it could be anything. It's also obtained by browsing in the internet or downloading illegal programs from unknown sites. It mainly affects Windows users. However, in 2017, it was found to also affect Mac users. So these are 4 different types of spywares. The first one is password stealer. As the name suggests, it's designed to steal your password and credentials and from any account that you might have opened using your web browser. And this information will be stored and later sent to the attacker. The second one is banking trojans. These are basically made or designed to attack financial institutions, and they will do basically the same as the first one, gathering information that you send it to the attacker. Then we have info stealers. Info stealers is actually more for any type of data that you might have in your system. Doesn't refer only for credentials or passwords. It's mainly for even documents or files that you might have in your system. Again, this information will be stored and later sent. And then the keyloggers is the one that designed to track your activities from your web browser or your system login. Sorry, your system logs. So it's actually pretty serious, and many of these spywares are not easy to remove. Attack patterns. The first attack pattern is when you download or you click on a email attachment or click on an unfamiliar link from an email that it was sent to you by a friend or some family. Also, when you run an executable program from a website, for example, you are browsing and this pop-up window comes up and says that you need to install a specific software to update your computer. You do that and you're basically done. Also, downloading free or unknown software can also cause issues. There's nothing free, and if it's free, it must be certified by some other company or have to be a safe website. Then ads they are everywhere. Ads are everywhere now, and these ads can also be a medium for spywares to enter to your browser or your computer. And for mobile devices, if you download an uncertified app, can also it can also be affect your mobile device and give you some sort of problems, especially with apps that you might have in your system You might take the information out of it and send it to the attacker. Prevention. It is important to be aware of all types of emails, especially from unknown sources. Opening emails that are coming from unknown sources can have viruses, or in this case spywares. It's also important to download files from a trusted source. You don't want to use an untrusted source or an untrusted website to download files or download software that might compromise your computer. Also be aware of all the ads and do not click on them, because usually ads are a double-edged sword. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Also making sure that your system is fully updated and your software is installed, your anti-spyware software, anti-malware software is installed and up to date as well. Recovery. So the first step is to eliminate all the suspicious emails from your inbox. So you are making sure that there's no way you will reopen those emails or open a new one if you ever get another one. You have to contact your supervisor and manager and make sure they are aware that this issue happened, so they can also take measures on how to communicate this to other employees that might be affected as well. And you have to also reach out to the cybersecurity department of your company, so they know that this issue happened, that information has been compromised, and they will also let you know on on the next steps to follow after this. And if personal information or company information has been compromised, then you have to make sure to contact all the parties that are involved, co-workers, especially that part can be also taken care of by the supervisor or manager, but it's also quite good to make sure you provide some information to other parties. For example, if you send an email to a coworker, you let them know that this email might have something, so please do not open it. As a conclusion, I would like to point out 4 major points. The first one is that spywares are a real threat for computers and mobile devices around the world. I mean, they are everywhere now. They are basically added to publicity or AdWords or ads in many websites, so you have to be careful about them. Also, make sure that you are not, surfing the web and opening websites that are unknown, or you don't know they are not secure, or they are not secure. Also, make sure that you do not download free software, because free software, in theory, there's nothing free in there. Many of them will have some sort of trigger that will probably download some sort of spyware or adware or malware that will, put you at risk of getting infected. And also make sure that you delete all suspicious emails from your inbox. And with this, I want to conclude my presentation. Thank you.